Rick will make a case for the college basketball point shaving scandal as the biggest sports scandal of all time.
This thing blew up so big, I don't think anybody ever realized it. Many top players and teams got involved in this. CCNY, Manhattan College, NYU, Long Island University, Bradley out of the New York area, 33 players were involved. Crime groups were involved. They fixed 86 games between 1947 and 1950. Just think of the ramifications. 7 teams, 33 players. I know one of the players that was there was the guy that played at LIU. His teammate happened to be my high school basketball coach, and he was telling me stories about a guy by the name of Sherman White, who was one of the top players in college basketball. He was approached by somebody to do something. He went to his coach, and he told him about it. Now, of all those 33 guys that were there, this was kind of mind-blowing to me. Not one of them served a prison sentence. They were all suspended. So when you talk about scandals and the impact that it had, this was so broad and far-reaching. And for 3 or 4 years, it was taking place before it was...
Rick Barry, guys and gals, will make a case for why the 1969 moon landing was the most unforgettable televised moment in history.
The Russians had beat us. They put Sputnik up there. They got Yuri Gagarin up in space and all. And President Kennedy at the time said, I think we need to go and get somebody, be the first one to go to the moon and bring him back. And unfortunately, he never was alive to be able to see that. And Jim will be talking a little bit about that, to be able to see that momentous occasion. Amazingly, 600 million people, they say, watched the landing on the moon and the first steps by Neil Armstrong, right? A small step for man, a great leap for mankind, unbelievable words. Had the pleasure of getting to meet him later on in life, an incredible man. 400,000 people were employed to help get these men to the moon. It was the Apollo guidance computer developed by MIT and their instrumentation lab. And there was nothing like this. It was the size of a suitcase. They were able to create this computer the size of a suitcase to be able to get it onto the aircraft, on the spacecraft, to be able to get it up there and get these men to the moon and get it back. It was a monumental task. They did so much for so many areas of life by these people working. If 25,000 BTUs or whatever it is when they came into space to not burn up when they were coming in, that all had to be done by hand. They trained women for weeks at a time before they could even have a chance to go and fill in all of these hundreds of thousands of different little holes that they had to put special rosin into. What it did, it provided advancements in mechanical, computerized stuff and engineering, geophysics of planet formation, and the descendants of the Apollo guidance computer helped to remake how the world learns, how the world works, how people play, how communication became so incredible with our smartphones and all of the other things. This was really the start of it, folks.
Or I should say our third Hall of Famer right now has selected Denzel Washington's He's Got Game quote from the same movie title as the most iconic movie quote of all time.
But it teaches you about how to get to the top and how you have to fight to make your way to the top. And once you get to almost there, you're going to have a lot of people pulling and tugging at you. So, because when I first started, I had to go to the Supreme Court in order to play in the NBA. And in order for me to go to the Supreme Court, I had to fight the NBA, the NC2A, and all of the powers that be. And in this ruling from 1971 until today, there's been over $60 billion created for player revenue for NBA players, and we haven't went to the NFL yet. It teaches you about the battles you're going to have in front of you. But I'm playing today for all of the retired players, and I want to thank the young players for making sure that we have the same health insurance that they have.
Mr. Spencer Haywood will start things off right now as he has selected Gandhi as a historical figure that would help society in 2023.
We have all of the wars and rumors of wars, and not only in in the Gaza Strip and in Israel, but also throughout Africa. We have in the Sudan, we have genocide. Gandhi preached about love and about caring and about the peace and understanding that we don't need these wars because we are feeding into the industrial complex, the military industrial complex. That's why I choose Gandhi, because we just need some peace.
Mr. Tom Holland, he selected Paladin, Where Do You Roam as the most iconic TV theme show song of all time.
Paladin, far, far away. And it just stuck in my head because it's Ghost Riders in the Sky. Junior high school, I got called into the dean's office several times. And as I was walking down the high school corridor, I would sing that song to myself to give me courage to face the dean of boys. And so it's always stuck in my head. And I spent some Halloweens at Lalo Schifrin's house, Donnie.
Wow.
But Tom Holland, is there a difference between faith and superstition?
I use superstition in child's play. I used voodoo to take him over, to take the Brad Dourif is dying and he puts his soul inside the doll, inside Chucky. The older I get, and I'm losing so many contemporaries now, that faith is becoming increasingly important. And the idea that we pass and that's it and there's nothing more there, I find so horrifying that I'm hoping that there is something on the other side. Maybe it's just, karma and you're passed on or you're reborn or whatever. But there's got to be something than just the complete loss of everything when we pass. And so I'm thinking more about faith, and it's becoming increasingly important in my life. I think superstition is it's black cats crossing the street in front of you. Faith is something you get when you believe in God.